As the sun sets, the coffin lids rise, and the creatures of the night awake. We greet you. This is the Mourning Show. Here at the Mourning Show, we strive to bring you the latest news, music, product and entertainment reviews, travel, cuisine, and interviews with the people you loathe the most. But first, to see what the night shall bring, we go to our local lunatic, Zora. So, what's the foreshadowing forecast?
The lunar phase for tonight, Saturday the 9th of August 2014, is a waxing gibbous moon. The moon is in the zodiac sign of Capricorn.
Capricorn. Isn't that several animals or something?
It's a goatfish.
A goatfish. And a gibbons.
Yep, a goatfish.
Isn't that a monkey?
Is what?
And a gibbons. Isn't that a monkey?
I don't know.
Yes, it is. But that must hurt to wax a gibbon. Anyway, we are on to the morning news. Fans of the popular NCIS series may be surprised when a regular character shows up with a new hairdo. But it's not just a fashion choice. Abby Scuto, or however you pronounce her name, I don't actually watch the show, whose goth black hairstyle has been a trademark for her character, could begin season 12 as a blonde due to an allergic reaction to hair dye. Actress Polly Perrette, or however you pronounce it, who plays Scuto, had a bad reaction to the dye after a decade of using it. Her natural hair color is blonde. Perrette, from a hospital bed, said, "My head swelled up like a huge melon," while warning that people should know the symptoms. It can be fatal. Season 12 of NCIS hasn't started filming. The actress could end up wearing a black wig or sporting her natural blonde locks.
I don't really watch the show either.
But what do you think? Do you think she should go blonde or wear a wig?
I think that if she's known for something, then she should continue with it. So I think that it would probably be better if she switched to a wig.
I don't get why she doesn't just switch hair dye brands. Maybe something more natural, something that wouldn't cause an allergic reaction.
There are some people that don't want to take the risk. I mean, I've met other people who have had allergy reactions to hair dye, and they just stopped dyeing their hair altogether.
Yes. Well, I've never dyed my hair, and I don't see any reason to. My hair is already black. But I do own wigs. I love wigs. And so I wouldn't mind the character being in a wig. And I wouldn't mind her being blonde either. I really don't care, as neither of us watched the show.
On the other hand, I have been dyeing my hair since I was probably like 11 or 12. I don't like wearing wigs. My parents, well, I had to ask my parents what color dye I was going to do, but I would be like, "Mom, I'm sick of my hair color. Can I dye my hair this color?" She'd be like, "No." Or I'd be like, "Mom, can I dye my hair this color?" She'd be like, okay, sure.
In my family, none of us dyed our hair. That being said, though, my mother's hair is black and my father's hair is black. And so maybe that's why.
This is possible. But I've had my hair just about every color. I've been blonde, brunette, redhead. I've had black hair. I've had purple, green, blue.
Green hair?
Fire Engine
Green
Red.
hair, was it
Yes, I
natural?
have. People used to do the booger joke at me all the time.
Do your story now.
The latest vampire craze in China. In this 21st century, too many things have changed, right from our dressing style to eating habits. This world has seen lots of changes. There were some speculations on the constant changes of the human lifestyle. China's being a biggest food market, or sorry, China's being a biggest market for food and fashion, started trending blood bags as drinks. A considerate amount of youth in China got inspired from the famous American television series Vampire Diaries. Hence, the retailers of China started an innovative energy potion called Blood Energy Potion. Due to a high demand of blood potion, it is available everywhere and also has a faculty of ordering it online. Many themed cafe Many themed cafes have encased this craze by arranging theme nights and events for the would-be Dracula. One such cafe recently opened in Liaoning. I'm not sure if I said that right. And became an enormous hit by youths who fascinated popular Dracula and vampires who are popular in this genre. The staff the staffs in this cafe are dressed specifically as doctors and nurses. These drinks are only available in plastic blood bags, which include the details of all blood types. The walls of the cafe have coffins designed in the background, or
Hey, wait a minute. Stop.
have coffins.
Stop.
Coffins.
Stop. I said stop. I keep on hearing dong like Facebook dongs behind you. Close Facebook.
Okay, I just closed Facebook. Do you want me to start the article over?
No, no, it only happened twice, and one of them is, you know, ignorable. We can ignore that. And the other one, well, the other one we are going to cover up by having you start with these drinks are only available in plastic blood bags.
Okay, let me find. I lost my place. Uh, okay, these drinks are only available in plastic blood bags, which include the details of all blood types. The walls of the cafe have coffin designs, and the background music played is inspired from various vampire themes, theme shows and movies. The interesting part of this drink are the ingredients it has. Well, this special drink consists of very unusual things like mineral water, coffee, white wine, etc., are colored and transfused to the blood bags before being served to the customers. With all the interest and inquisitiveness about vampires, the American TV series Vampire Diaries' popularity in China makes this themed cafe more popular by the series fans. The B blood type energy potion is available online. It is another popular blood bag drink which can be purchased online. The makers of B type blood are going a step further and make the drink as blood-like as possible. The B blood type is advertised as the world's first blood substitute beverage. The red concoction is been assumed to have nutrients, color, and texture of blood. The only thing indifferent about this is that it does not taste like blood. Looking at the current scenario in China, it seems in the near future most of our younger generation would be running around on blood drinks rather than cold drinks or alcohol at a party. It is way too early to say about drinks' advantages and disadvantages. Still thinking about the number of people involved, we hope this drink is nutritious for them.
You know, I think I've actually seen that drink before. I think it's been around for a few years now, actually. I think I purchased a blood B-type energy drink like 2 years ago or something. So I'm pretty sure it's actually been around for a while. Um, I have no problem with it. I would definitely drink it. It sounds fun. I wonder what the flavors are for them. I mean, it said some of the flavors, but clearly it didn't say the flavors for all of the types, and I'm just kind of curious. Obviously, I would not be drinking the coffee flavor because I don't drink coffee. Mineral water, I hope it has a better flavor than mineral water. And yeah, white wine, I'm not so much one for white wine. Now, if they had one that was flavored like sangria, I'd be up for that one. That one sounds good. So I would like that one. I would also like if they had a chocolate flavored one. I mean, yeah, it'd probably taste like a yoo-hoo or something, but it would be interesting, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of berry flavors, so I mean, yeah, sangria is fruity flavored too, but I like berries as well. So
Yeah. I would think that they would want to do a cherry flavor because cherries are naturally already red. But that kind of reminds me of True Blood, the based off of the TV show that's on HBO. They sell bottled juices that are supposed to be blood orange flavor. And Lana and another of our friends tried to make their own True Blood because we used to be into that show. And they've mixed up different juices, and uh, I'm sure she could tell you more about it than I could, but um, that it reminds me of the True Blood, the drinks that they came out with for the show.
yeah, I've also made my own.
I would have.
Yeah, I've also made my own drinks.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Will you stop interrupting me? Yeah, I've also made my own drinks
Sorry.
that look like blood. A third time? Shut up.
What?
You've interrupted me 3 darn times.
I'm sorry. I think it's a delay.
It is. So let me start this 4th time. Don't talk. Okay?
Hmm.
Yeah, I've made my own blood. Yeah, I've made my own drinks that look like blood before. I mixed tomato juice, like a V8, and orange juice, and a little bit of milk in it, and a few other ingredients I can't remember. So yeah, I mean, you know, I've done that as well, and that made me think. Actually, yes, why not make one that is V8 flavored? Why not? Make one that's Bloody Mary flavored. They have white wine flavor. Why not make one that is Bloody Mary? That sounds like a fun drink that I would also enjoy drinking.
My biggest concern with those is I would have to read the ingredients because they market them as energy drinks, and I'm allergic to the vast majority of them because I'm allergic to taurine.
I've never heard of that ingredient, but by my nature, I don't usually drink energy drinks. I'm very against any heavily caffeinated drink, and a lot of energy drinks are very, very high in caffeine, and so I usually stay away from them anyway.
When it comes to that, if I want something highly caffeinated, I usually either go for coffee, tea, or Mountain Dew.
I just stay away from caffeine in general.
I used to be really addicted to caffeine. I worked at a coffee shop, and that was one of 2 jobs that I had at the time. And I would wake up in the morning, and I would drink like 4 shots of espresso as though it were a cup of coffee, and then I would take 2 2 no-dose type pills, caffeine pills, and then I would go to from my coffee shop job to the other job I had. And during the course of the day, this is back before they put taurine in energy drinks, I would drink 2 or 3 energy drinks during the course of the day, not counting whatever other caffeinated beverages I happened to consume. Then when I got off work, I would go back to the coffee shop and work that job, and I would drink like probably 4 to 6 more shots of espresso and take 2 more no-dos. during that period of my life, I probably only slept 2 or 3 hours a night.
It's terrible. And what is taurine anyway? Why did they start adding it?
Taurine is the chemical in like Rockstar or Red Bull that gives it that weird vitamin-y flavor. Um, it's a stimulant, and I believe it's derived um, from cows somehow, which is where they get the Red Bull, but I don't really know. Um, I know that it's supposed to be like similar to an amino acid, um, but I don't know. And me and my friend had a theory that the reason why I might be allergic to it is because I was a vegetarian for so many years. But I don't even know if there's any merit to that. It was just a theory.
Well, yes. Well, I hope that there's no taurine in this drink, and I think I've already had it, but I would love to see it come to the United States more. She moves
I don't know about
silently
it.
and quickly. I'm moving on.
Okay, sorry.
This delay's killer, man.
Mm.
She moves silently and quickly through the countryside, clad all in black, but she's no ghost or figure from a dark folk tale. Or is she? Shrouded heavily in all black clothing, a woman alleged to be a bereaved mother of two has been steadily making her way north through the Appalachians, drawing interest from local onlookers, traveling mostly along rural highways and small towns. The woman in black, as she has quietly become known over the last 2 months, doesn't do much talking. Sometimes she'll accept help from strangers, but never rides. Most of the time, she simply walks on. Bystanders who've encountered the woman in black on her travels have had widely different reactions to her. Some even found her disturbing. I tried to talk to her, but she would not talk, just looked at me out of the corner of her eyes and had a half smile. My friend asked if she needed help. She just gave a blank stare. Creepy, said one. Another told, my daughter said the woman had a sparkling glow around her. I asked if maybe she had shiny things sewn on her clothes, and my daughter said no. My daughter also reported a very peaceful feeling as she walked past this lady. Whatever this lady's mission, she had an effect on my girls last night. Recently, some say that she, the lady in black, has reached her destination, but others say that she'll be on the move again. So, Morgan, what upcoming shows should we expect? Oh, wait, I
Hmm.
skipped ahead. I skipped ahead. We need the comments. Oh, my. Any commentary on the lady in black?
I've never heard of her before. I've never come across her, but what I have come across is I've been out walking at night and in black myself. It probably wasn't me that these people were running into,
We
because
found
I
the
would
lady
stop and
in
talk to
black.
people. I would stop and talk to people. I have also, in my walkings at night, come across a guy in Salt Lake somewhere who walks around at night dressed in a cloak. But he wouldn't stop and talk to me, and kind of gave me, but I don't know that it has anything to do with any of that.
No, I whenever So for those listeners who do not know, although you will hear Collie pre-record in this episode, she's actually been gone from the show for several weeks now, and but she still helps behind the scenes. She just is away from the actual recording for the moment, but she still helps, and she's the one who sent this story to us. Whenever she first sent this in,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the audience. What are you doing responding, Morgan?
Sorry.
Whenever she first sent this in, for those listeners who don't know, Jacques Denier, I'm the one who runs this show. I'm the manager and editor-in-chief of this show. Whenever Collie first sent this in, I at first thought, why should we? I don't think we should talk about it because it seems like a non-story to me because I have been that ghostly figure in black before myself, and so I didn't see this as a news story, but I did some research and I decided, all right, we'll include it, you know. But I did research on this, and it's just some woman who her brother finally came and talked to the police a few days ago. And what is this woman is an Army veteran who she had a head injury and post-traumatic stress disorder from being in the military. And she was on medication for a long time, and she recently stopped taking her medication. And then shortly after she stopped taking her medication, she dressed in all black and took a big walk from where she lives down to where her brother lives. And so it's a non-story to me. It's just some woman walking in black. I'm not one to care much about the story, but I thought, it sounds like a pretty good and spooky story, so I thought, why not include it,
Mm-hmm. All right.
Do you have anything else to say on it? Morgan, do you have anything else to say on that story, or should we move on? You vanished, didn't you? I know what it means whenever you don't come up like that. Well, I guess I'll just wait for you. Anyway, YouTubers, as you can hear, Morgan is still having a problem with her internet connection. There's a big lag, and so that's why she keeps cutting me off. Hopefully we can get that fixed some point in the future and she won't be cutting me off. And I try not to cut her off, although I did once, and sorry about that. Lena's having car trouble. Oh, hello. You're
Hello.
there. I was just entertaining the YouTubers while you were gone.
Okay.
So do you have anything else to add to the Leia in Black story, or do you want to move on?
I don't.
Okay. Well, since I already did the intro to the music section, you can start reading the Amanda Palmer thing right now.
Okay. Amanda Palmer, August 15th, 8:30 p.m. at the Fisher Center for Performing Arts in New York City.
Project Pitchfork will be performing Sunday, August 24th in Bradford, UK at Infest.
Combi Christ World Tour. Dates are August 21st, Arena Hall in Krasnodar, Russia. August 22nd, Volta, Moscow at Russian Federation. And August 23rd, Cosmonaut, St. Petersburg, Russia Federation.
So this is the Russian leg of their world tour. And Velvet Acid Christ tour continues Friday, August 22nd, Kerr Club, Hamburg, Germany, and Saturday, August 23rd, Bunker, Dresden, Germany.
Are we going to do the
Res-
the
the recipe, I'm
the
settling
food?
there, but yeah. It's down to your recipe.
Okay.
We've already recorded ours.
Okay. Before we get our just desserts, we must have something
You left out the word but.
to go with. Um, but before we get our just desserts, we have something to go with our
Hey, can
main
I give a
course.
suggestion? Uh, do
Yeah.
do a creepy voice for this whole recipe. The recipe is meant to be theatrical. All of our recipes, it's performance. You become a more spookier being than your real you. Still,
Main course.
oh, whoops. Yeah. Well, just go ahead. Start from the butt.
Okay. But before we get our just desserts, we have something to go with the main course. Funeral potatoes.
Wait. Let me give a suggested voice, and let's see if you can do it. Okay.
Mhm.
But before we get our just desserts, we must have something to go with the main corpse. And that's the voice that I do, but do you see the theatrical in there? By the way, if you notice, just desserts is capitalized, which means you're supposed to put more emphasis in it.
Okay.
So,
But before we get our just desserts, we have something to go with the main corpse. Funeral potatoes. You will need 13 purple potatoes boiled and then grated.
yes, that sounds so painful.
2 cans of cream of chicken soup and 2 cups sour cream.
Like our sour souls.
2½ cups cheddar cheese divided. 1/4 cup melted butter. A half a chopped red onion.
Oh, to make us cry.
A half a teaspoon salt and pepper.
Ooh, assault it.
Top with a half a cup grated mix of sharp cheddar, Gouda, and pepper jack cheese. Heat the oven to 350 and place the rack in the middle.
I love the rack.
Put butter, chopped onions, salt, and pepper in a saucepan over medium heat. Cook until just the onions are thickened. Place soup, sour cream, and 2 cups of grated cheese in a large cauldron. Pour the butter-onion mixture over the soup. Mix well. Add the grated potatoes, folding ingredients together. Pour the mixture into a 9.
You lost your voice during it. You need to go back and reread that with a bit more creep. The whole bit down there with the put butter.
Okay. Put butter, onions, salt, and pepper in a saucepan over medium heat. Cook just until onions are softened. Place soup, sour cream, and 2 cups of the grated cheese in a large cauldron. Pour the cooked butter-onion mixture over the soup and mix well. Add the grated potatoes, folding ingredients together. Pour the mixture into a 9
It's nails.
by 13
Ooh, my fave. My lucky number.
inch grease pan. Spreading the topping cheese over the funeral potatoes and bake uncovered for 40 minutes until the dish is bubbly.
If we lost you at funeral potatoes, please read the line again at spread.
Okay. Spread the topping cheese over the funeral potatoes and bake uncovered for 40 minutes until the dish is bubbly.
We lost you at 40 minutes. Start at 40 minutes.
40 minutes, or until the dish is bubbly.
And of course, this is where Lan will go, double, double, toilet trouble, fire burning cauldron bubble.
And golden on top, removed from the rack, and abandoned for 10 minutes before serving.
All right, well, you need to work on your food voice in the future.
Okay.
It still was never as extreme as it should be. It should be removed from the rack and abandoned for 10 minutes before serving.
Mm-hmm.
The entire thing should have been read sort of like that.
Okay.
You know? I want more, you gotta get more extreme, but we'll work on that in the future, okay?
All right.
But yeah, you need to, it's called overacting, melodramatic. You need to be melodramatic. Have you ever been melodramatic before?
Yes.
Oh. All right, now we need to get you to say, exquisite.
Exquisite.
Great, I'll add that in with all of us, with all the rest of us saying exquisite, because there's 4 of us saying it this week.
Okay.
Yeah, Collie, you, me, and Lena.
Okay.
What's funny is that all of us saying that was all recorded separately. It was me recording totally separate with Collie, me recording totally separate with Lena, and me recording totally separate with you, and then me saying it totally separate. So normally we say it all at once. Okay, so now we're on to your album review.
All right. It is time to tickle your cochlea with the vibrations that enrapture the soul and amplifies the will as we subjugate an album to the utmost scrutiny. I assure you that all opinions are full of bias and overall loathe. Now stop me if you think you've heard this one before. Tonight we go a tad old school goth with The Queen is Dead by the Smiths, which references the greats like Keats, Yeats, Wilde, Anthony, Cleopatra, and even the Queen of England herself. The highlights of this album for me are the title track, which has beautifully poetic lyrics like, "So I broke into the palace with a sponge and a rusty spanner. She said, 'Ah, I know you cannot sing.' I said, 'That's nothing, you can hear me play piano.'" And my current favorite song, "Cemetery Gates," which I adore because it reminds me of my best friend of 10 years and co-host Lana.
Who is absent tonight?
Lena. Unfortunately. I imagine her singing the song to me about being ridiculous and not the other way around, which she originally imagined it when I had her listen to it. From the first time I heard it, I pictured her and I going up to the avenues on a dreaded sunny day to the Salt Lake Cemetery where, rather than Keats and Yeats and Wilde, we have dead Mormon prophets, the infamous Emo, and Lily Gray, whose gravestone says "Killed by the Beast." For sound, I give it 8 out of 10. Overall, this album is something I feel happy listening to. On this album, there are songs I love, and there are songs that I'd be super happy playing in the background as the soundtrack to my life. For lyrics, I give it a 10. Morrissey is an amazingly poetic lyricist. They are thought-provoking, beautifully written, and overall probably my favorite part of his songs. 3 of the songs on the album, on this album, are on a playlist that I keep on repeat, while others are beautifully upbeat while being melancholy. In the past, we've rated danceability, but I don't dance unless Lena makes me. So I'll just say that yes, there were songs that made me bob my head, while there were others that could have just been background noise to me doing other things. Though I can't recall having ever heard any of this album played at the club, so I think that might bode poorly for its danceability. And finally, darkness. I give it an 8. There are some songs that sound dark, while others don't sound as dark, but have a more poppy, upbeat feel to them, if you were to ignore the lyrics, which are a little darker. I would and will more than likely listen to it again and again.
And since your review dealt with Lena so much, let's see what Lena thinks of this album. Lena, tell us what you think. What?
Chirp, chirp. Chirp,
What,
chirp.
weren't you just here a moment ago in our cuisine section? Didn't you give us the witch's brew drink? What happened? You drank that drink and you died? You're at the cemetery gates with Yeats and Keats and Wyatt. I see. Yes. Well, so I've listened to this album before, and along with a lot of the albums by the Smiths and Morrissey. And, I like the Smiths, I like Morrissey, but they're not my most favorite goth band in the whole world. So, I like it. It's a nice, happy album. Even though, so the lyrics are kind of dark, but it's so funny. One of the things that I always say, and it's true, but it makes people go, huh? And that is listening to The Cure makes me very, very happy. And they have depressing lyrics too. So, yeah, listening to the Smiths makes me happy. I don't know why. But, yeah, go ahead.
I feel the same way. Both the Smiths and the Cure also make me feel really happy.
Yeah, so, I like the song, the album. I like the album. For me, it's one of those albums that I can just sit to and feel a little joy in listening to. For me, it's a pretty good album. If I was to rate the album, I would say it's about a 6.5 total, an overall rating. For me, it's a pretty good album.
And overall, I think I'd probably give it an 8 or a 9. I really enjoyed it. And this is coming from me, who I did not like the Smiths until just recently, and now they're one of my favorite bands. So tastes change. Maybe it's worth a re-listen.
Well, and I mean, you've heard of the old, rivalry between the Smiths and the Cure. Back in the day, you were either a fan of the Smiths or you were a fan of the Cure, but you couldn't be a fan of both because Morrissey and Robert Smith were like feuding.
And ironically, that playlist that I was talking about actually is mostly Smiths and Cure songs.
Yeah, I love the Cure a lot. For me, anything by the Cure is up above the Smiths, but I love the Smiths too. The Smiths, it was a really great band. Morrissey is a really great performer, and any of their albums are top notch, and I highly recommend them.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to do the travel segment, okay?
Okay.
Ooh, you know what I should have done that I forgot to do?
Hmm.
I think I wrote in a little intro for the travel segment that for all future travel segments I forgot to put here. So I'm going to add that in right now. Okay?
Okay.
I mean, if I'm going to do a travel segment, which obviously I am, I might as well add in that new little bit. I've been adding in new intros for a lot of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get my mouse and my computer's. I opened up the template and my computer got very upset at me because of I'm using my computer too much. I'm killing the CPU on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have that ready and I'll begin in a few moments.
Okay.
I'm not just telling you, I'm telling the YouTube people too, of course.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. That's fine. This is not on. This is going to be edited out. I mean, It's whenever you interrupt me when I'm talking, that's something that will stay in the show. That's like, oh no. Yeah. Sorry, here we go. To see what dark doorways we may haunt, we shall now traverse the globe across the Gothic landscapes to, what's this? Ah, go to hell. Hell, Michigan, that is, where you can be mayor for the day. We've all been told to go to hell once or twice, but did you know that you can actually comply with the command? There's no better retort than whipping out a deed to your own plot of land in hell and letting your insulter know that, yes, you've been there. And in fact, you were once the mayor of hell. The tiny town of Hell is located just outside of Ann Arbor in the southeast portion of Michigan. If you somehow missed the giant yellow sign on the way in saying, "Welcome to Hell," you'd think that Hell is just like any other small town. It's got a lovely little ice cream shop, a bar quite popular with bikers, and even a tiny church. Frankly, Hell isn't nearly as bad a place as it's been made out to be. Legend tells that the town received its name thanks to its founder, a scheming entrepreneur. What was that?
Sorry.
It
was just my local ghost.
I can see. A scheming entrepreneur who, when asked for his opinion on naming the town, allegedly responded by saying, "I don't know. You can name it Hell for all I care." The name stuck, and nearly 200 years later, the little town not only bears the same strange name, it embraces it. A visit to the local gift shop will usually result in the standard greeting of, "Welcome to Hell. How the hell are you? Where the hell are you from?" In winter, there's no better local news headline than "Hell freezes over." If you want proof... Sorry, I had a little burp in my throat. If you want proof that you've been to hell, you need to look no further than the local post office, where they'll take your postcard, singe the edges with a candle, and stamp it, "Been through hell." While it makes quite a keepsake, the best way to experience hell is to become mayor. For just $100, the town will declare you mayor of hell, complete with all the official documents, award you a key to the city, give you a deed for 1 square inch of land, and then impeach you at the end of the day. The next time someone tells you to go to hell, go ahead and book your trip. And while we're in Michigan, we should not neglect the Motor City, the home of James O'Barr's The Crow. Not only is it an urban explorer's dream come true with its epic abandoned buildings, Motown is also a paranormal playground, from military forts to cursed restaurants to a legendary red gnome. Detroit knows how to bring the weird. The Masonic Temple. Detroit's Masonic Temple is the biggest in the world. It was built in 1912 by George D. Mason and has more than 1,000 rooms, including secret staircases, hidden passages, and even compartments hidden in the floors. Unfortunately, Mason may have gone a bit overboard building the temple, and when it went bankrupt, his wife decided she just couldn't be married to a man who wasn't rich. Mason spiraled into a depression and eventually jumped to his death from the temple's roof. To this day, people say they see him ascending the stairs slowly towards the roof. Guests and staff also experience cold spots, strange shadows, doors opening and closing, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. There's also Fort Wayne. People claim that most of the strange paranormal activity going on at Fort Wayne happens at 1:12 a.m. and no one knows why. There have been sightings of spectral soldiers wandering around the fort's 96 acres, while visitors claim to hear the sound of mysterious footsteps and voices from beyond the grave. 40 volunteers report that display items have a history of disappearing and reappearing weeks later. Fort volunteers. Fort Wayne is the last Native American burial mound in the city, and according to many, is haunted by the ghost of the Yamkodesh, also known as the Mound Builders. In order to help the newly departed pass on, they would walk back and forth in a nearby creek until the ghosts passed over to the spirit world. Also, Elmwood Cemetery. On July 31st, 1763, Chief Pontiac and 250 braves hid in the trees above what eventually became Elmwood Cemetery and killed between 60 to 160 British soldiers. Today, many people claim to see strange orbs and other odd anomalies in the cemetery, as well as the apparitions of the men who died that fateful day. One of the most famous ghosts at Elmwood Cemetery is known as the Veiled Lady. She's said to invoke terrible feelings of fear and dread in anyone who sees her. Strange smells and disembodied voices have been reported by those who are brave enough to stand in front of her grave under the moonlight. The Whitney. The Whitney was originally built as a home for David Whitney Jr. and his wife, Sarah. According to the legend, the couple died inside the home, but decided to never leave. Sometime in the 80s, people began recording the strange experiences they were having on all 3 floors. Witnesses claim to see the apparition of a man wearing a tuxedo on the 2nd floor and the sound of people whispering to each other when no one is around. And the Nain Rouge. Nain Rouge is French for red gnome, which is exactly what the famous Detroit monster is supposed to be, described as being the sign of terrible events to come. The Nain Rouge is a small creature wearing red and black boots and is said to have red eyes and rotten teeth. Sounds like a drunkard. Weird lectures. John Tenney recently gave us the scoop on the little red troublemaker. Originally a Native American earth guardian protector spirit, the Europeans got here and they said he was a demon, and now there's a huge parade every year to kick him out of the city. Nain has been cited all the way back to 1701, when he supposedly attacked the first white settler in Detroit, and he's been raising hell ever since.
Well, that's rude.
What is?
Kicking him out the city.
A Earth guardian?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. But let's not just focus on him. How about all these lovely other things, like hell? Have you ever been to hell?
I've never been to hell.
Would you like to go there?
I don't know. I think it would be nice to own a square inch of land.
Yes, and imagine when people say go hell, you go already been there. In fact, I was the mayor.
And I own property there.
Oh yes, I live there. You could say I'm just here visiting. Sounds like a lovely place. I'd love to go there. Um, I live in a small town. I like both small towns and cities, and hell seems like a very, very lovely place. Maybe one day I'll move to hell. Then whenever people want to send me something, I can tell them to send it to hell. Yeah. Hey, I want to
I
send you
am
a
more
package. Maybe I want to send. Hey, I want to send you a package. Yeah, well, you can send it to hell.
I'm more of a big city type gal, so I probably wouldn't want to live there. But it sounds
Oh,
like it would be a nice place to
so you're a big gal, huh?
I'm a big gal and I'm a big city gal.
So, and how about Detroit? Ever been there?
I haven't.
Would you like to?
But I used to book reservations for Detroit
Uh,
for hotel rooms.
yes, I'm a huge fan of The
And
Crow, as
depending on what part of the
yes, I'm a huge fan of The Crow, as our listeners know, and I'd just like to go there to see Detroit. Plus, I really, yeah, right now land there's real cheap. I'd love to buy some land in Detroit.
all the houses there, weren't those all the houses that got foreclosed on during the big market crash?
Yes, and now they're tearing down a lot of them, sadly, uh, but yeah, yes, they are. But yeah, there's some lovely, lovely houses there. As long as you're willing to fix them up, that you can get them for real cheap. And besides, then I'd be close to all these haunted locations. I mean, what do you think of the Masonic Temple
That is something that I don't really have so much interest in,
in Ghosts?
unfortunately. Well, no, I have interest in ghosts. I just don't really have much interest in the Masonic temples and the Masonic order and whatnot. I
Uh,
used to be fascinated by it, but then I looked up some information on it. It just seems like a group just like any other group.
It is. It is. I know some Masons. I'm friends with Masons. It's just a fraternity. I mean, you know. But how about that
Yeah.
guy who jumped off of it and now haunts it?
He reminds me of some of the stories of the ghosts that are haunting the Whaley House in San Diego. It just seems kind of par for the course.
Ah, would you like to tell us about San Diego and the Whaley House next week?
Sounds like a
Ah,
plan.
mm. And me, I'm not one for forts, although I am one for Native Americans, so it would kind of be interesting to know about the history of both the Native Americans at what is now Fort Wayne and the Native Americans at Elmwood Cemetery. And I love cemeteries, so I would definitely love to go to Elmwood Cemetery.
I do love my cemeteries.
And this one is haunted by many Native American and British soldiers.
hmm I think it would be really fun someday to go on just like a road trip throughout the United States, going to all the different older cemeteries that exist throughout the country, and um, just hanging out and seeing the beautiful sculptures and architecture and things like that that are the things that make up the some of the beauty that is the cemetery.
That's a lot of picnics.
I know. I'll have to make a lot of sandwiches.
And this building, this haunted building, the Whitney, sounds a lot like that place in San Diego.
Yeah, similar name.
Yeah, and similar hauntings.
This is true.
Mm, yes. You've just listened to The Morning Show. You should be doing now. We're going to go Chronic Corner since Lane's not here.
Now we're going to go cry in a corner.
We're signing off. There we go. See, so I'm going to end the broadcast now. Good night to our YouTube viewers.